Hey, welcome back to the show. Today is May 16th, 2017. Last week's news, I was talking about Japan camera hunter calling for action to make a compact camera and how a gentleman called Raffaello Palandri said that his company, R&T Global Services, were working on multi-format camera, digital and film on a 35mm camera. I said I wasn't sure if it was true or not, but after that, I've been talking to Raffaello, and I can assure you he is working on a new 35mm camera. It's going to be a hybrid, so it kind of shows the tendency of the Instax SQ10 and the Polaroid, the Impossible Project I1, and now this camera they're working on. So I'll give you more updates when I can say anything about it, but I will be on top of it. I've had a few things I've left behind in the past weeks, so I found them during my search for the news this week, and I will be giving updates that are not so new as of this past week, but maybe a little before. One is about Ferrania scaling up, part 2, and Ferrania, as you know, opened their store to sell P30, which is black and white 35mm film, and they closed it after having a bunch of orders, or a lot of orders. They've done this and they explain why on the link I left below, because they want to ensure that they have a stock when they sell next time. So it won't be pre-orders, but it'll be proper sales. So people like me who pre-ordered are waiting for the film to arrive, and once that stock starts building in their warehouse, they'll open the store again for general public to buy. Also related to Ferrania, I've posted a few weeks back a podcast about Dave Bias talking about the history of Ferrania. I have seen that there's a second part of the podcast that I'll leave below. I still haven't been able to listen to the first one, but I'm sure both of them are very interesting, explaining what Ferrania was, where they are now, and where they want to be. So I highly recommend you listen to it. I will try to do my best to do it soon. As I also told you, there's a new app called FilmLab App that's being developed. His owner, Abe, had an interview with me in the channel, which I'll leave below, and he talks about what it's going to be like to scan with your phone and what are going to be his problems with color science and pricing and so forth. So if you want to support, there's a Kickstarter going on. He's almost fulfilled the Kickstarter goal in like a week, so that's good news for us backers. I'm a backer. So, and I also left a link for an article, a casual photo file, where they go hands down on the app with Abe in Boston. So you guys check out the link. There's a few links. There's the website, the Kickstarter, the article, and my video below. I am very excited to see this product develop. As for, I think it's a bridge between people that only do darkroom prints like me, and those people that only scan can also have a bit like in the middle there. I can do previews on my phone and so forth, but you can listen to the interview to see what it's all about. Also on a crowdfunding source, but it has just finished, is a camera called Woodyman 8x10. And this is a French company making pretty affordable 8x10s. They were 810 euros for the Woodyman 8x10, but it just finished yesterday. I would have heard about it. I would have probably featured it here. And I've heard from them today that they will continue with their project even though they didn't get the funds from their campaign, but they will still do it even though maybe a little different. So I'll leave the link below just in case you want to follow their project and give them some support or a pre-order or anything like that. On Kickstarter, I also found an 8x10 contact print Kickstarter. This man is selling some 8x10 contact prints on Kickstarter. I couldn't really tell if he was selling a project or funding more work, or it was just like 8x10 contact print sale on Kickstarter. I was a little confused. I watched the video, but I think it's still interesting if you guys want to support him. I think he's asking for $1,500. He is a darkroom printer already, so it's not that you're investing on something that might happen. I think he already has the prints made, so it shouldn't be a risk for you guys. From the finished Kickstarter lab box from Ars Imago, there's an update too about how they're finishing all the little details, getting the molds ready for the crank, and implementing a temperature, because one of the stretch goals was the temperature control on the lab box. So I'll leave also the link below so you guys can check out the Kickstarter. They are only announcing these news on the Kickstarter site, not on the proper LabBox site. So do keep an eye, even if you didn't back, because if not, you won't get any updates. Also, you probably have heard this week that Polaroid, the company and the name and the branding and all the patents that go behind Polaroid have been purchased by the major stockholder of Impossible Project. So now we could say that Impossible Project has bought Polaroid. What does this mean? I don't really know, and I think everyone's kind of speculating. I have an interview that I hope to feature soon about this subject, and but for now, at least Polaroid will be able to use Impossible Film under Polaroid name, or Impossible can use Polaroid to sell products or anything like that. So that's, I think, good news, as Polaroid had kind of gone sidetracked after they went bankrupt. They've been selling, you know, cheap goods like sunglasses and TVs and things like that under the Polaroid name, but the Polaroid name is still very strong around photographers or non-photographers. So I think it's a good move that now they're all together and hopefully going towards instant film being in the future. Found on Petapixel this week, there's an article about a man shooting Formula 1 with a Graflex RB 4x5. And if you don't know this camera, it's a Graflex that has like an SLR camera. So you have a mirror and you look through the top of the chimney, and it has a focal plane shutter, so you can shoot handheld Formula 1 shots like this man. I think it's pretty interesting. It's supposedly for a magazine called Lollipop. So if you're interested in it, maybe you can subscribe or buy the magazine to see if you can get some of those shots. But it is interesting. If you don't know, there's also Dave Burnett that has that Burnett combo, which is a Graflex with Aero Ektar. It was a World War II surveillance lens that was used for 5x5 cameras, and it's pretty much the same concept. So it's interesting to see these photojournalists using 4x5 film in 2017. Also found on Petapixel is an article of a man that had a back injury, and because of that, I guess he decided to make a 20x24 camera. He spent $80 on the materials and basically shooting, I don't know, like 4:1 portraits. The pictures are humongous. So if you want to check out how he made it, there's a little sketch on Petapixel and an explanation on his work. He is shooting paper negatives, which is a cheap way to shoot ultra large format. Found through Cat Labs of JP's Facebook, I found that APS is going to be back. APS is that film that came in a cartridge that had to be developed with a cartridge and then rewinded or wounded back into the cartridge. And this is an Italian-Chinese collaboration. I've read that it's going to be available in 2018, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. And last is a film that's going to be discontinued. Adox makes a color implosion, and if you don't know what it is, it's an ISO 100 film that looks like you've cooked it in your car during all summer. This film will no longer be made, so if you guys like the film or you've never tried it before, I recommend you go to the store. There's a few other retailers that sell it, and get your last color implosion. Well, thanks for watching. As always, if you have any information that you think is important for these news, send me an email to the email below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.